With the presidential election 8 months away, Florida voters went to the polls Tuesday to pick the Democrat they'd like to see face off against President Trump for the Oval Office. Some states put their primary elections on hold because of coronavirus, but not Florida. The CDC and the Trump administration have asked everyone to practice social distancing until COVID-19 is under control. More than 2 million Floridians voted ahead of time. Some of them voted in person while others mailed their ballots. There are at least 13 million active voters in Florida. I spoke with a couple of political analysts who says because of the uncertainty of the coronavirus, voter turnout will probably be low.
It's hard to estimate how many people will actually turn out because this is a real unknown to people today. In other circumstances where weather has caused some problems for people turning up at the poll or other kinds of means that are out of the normal, you can usually estimate, but because this virus is just taken on a life of its own, it's very difficult to say how many people will turn out. There are a lot of people questioning whether or not they should be going to the polls, so we probably won't see the same voter turnout that we would be if it wasn't for the virus, and so people are a little apprehensive.
I've been talking to a lot of voters that are sort of looking at both the political landscape and, of course, the COVID-19 risks involved out there that are dominating the headlines these days. And they're looking at the lead that the polls seem to trend in Biden's way and wondering if they want to risk exposure to go vote in a race that may or may not be within reach.
And of course, I asked the question, who they think will win Florida.
All polls point to Joe Biden having an overwhelming lead, and I don't think that will change because of the virus. He has momentum going into Florida. Senator Sanders has had a few missteps, including praising Fidel Castro, and that won't go over well with Cuban Hispanics in Florida. And so, by all accounts, this should be a pretty good runaway for Vice President Biden.
But if you look at the polls here in Florida for the past few months, they've been trending towards Biden. Even when he was sort of on the ropes a couple of weeks back before his big win in South Carolina, he was always in the top 3.
If COVID-19 is still posing a problem by November, it could impact the general election. Registering for a mail-in ballot is a good insurance policy for voters who don't want to vote in person.
People are definitely more concerned about staying healthy and protecting families than they are about getting to the polls today.